Rovers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Zeno, and I wanted to chat, and I'll put the word chat lightly, about the state of WuWa as we head into the final patch of 2025 and the 2.x series that launched in January. Now, I've been really sick the last few days, so I never got a chance to cover the dev livestream that goes over all of the new content coming to the game in 2.8, starring Chisa as the new 5-star with a new map and story. And as such, I've been kind of biding my time until my voice was slightly better so I can record this, although you can probably still hear the sickness as I do. I'm trying my best. But I think overall, the 2.8 patch for WuWa, I think it looks fantastic. And I'm going to be blunt here. And I think if you are still somehow unhappy with WuWa at this point, doom posting it online, calling it a disaster, how it has saved or hasn't saved the game, calling it mid, calling it filler, you are just a complete thief of joy. Like, I really wish you would just leave the goddamn community and play another game. Like, it screams unemployment behavior. It's incredibly unfun to be a part of a community online that is constantly being negative about each and every little thing the game does or does not offer to its rather ungrateful player base. Now, that seems pretty targeted, and obviously, for around 95% of the small community that I have here on my personal channel, this is not aimed at you guys at all. This isn't about you. In fact, this video mostly revolves around people who will never watch or engage in this video or content. So devil's advocate, complaining about the complaining is pointless in of itself, but sometimes you just got to do what you do and just get something off your chest. So people have complained about the lack of combat events for multiple patches, for example's sake. We will now have 2 of them in 2.8, and what's the result? People are still whining like children. It's stuff like this that makes it really hard to take anybody seriously when I'm looking online for various opinions and how to gauge what the community actually wants or is actually happy or upset about sometimes. Notoriously in gacha games, the final patch before the end of a full year-long expansion is a filler patch. It's where they'll chuck the final leftovers for players in the game, the final unit, which usually isn't of much consequence, leftover quality of life updates, bare bones events. Usually it's around the holiday time, so where players and devs take time off, it's lighter on content in general. Now, most players also kind of know this if you're not new to gacha and live service games, and we use this opportunity to save currency for whatever the next major expansion in the game holds. And for WuWa, it's going to be 3.0. Patch 2.8 of Wuthering Waves is like anything but that. It's got a brand new main story, of what is presumably a brand new main story, as it takes place after the events of the finale. Back with the Black Shores, where we left off, it has a new, and I dare say, utterly stunning looking map. It is based on like semi-Japanese style life with like flora that looks like sakura flowers. It's super bright, vibrant colors, hosted by like a cliche Japanese student main resonator that we can summon in Chisa, which she will be a very strong resonator for dot-focused teams like Karathi and Zani current, and also maybe more in the future, as they are also restructuring the negative status effects system. So going into 3.0 onwards, we can safely assume we'll finally get units that actually have stuff like Fusion Burst, Glacio Shafe, etc. It's got multiple and engaging events from at least 2 combat focus events, which I've mentioned, for those that prefer the combat, leisurely events for those that prefer scenic exploration or character stories, login events, a photo event, and also the patch will be slightly shorter as well, so there will be less downtime before we start the next. Now, I think it's perfectly reasonable as players and customers to criticize Kuro when we feel that things aren't going well. Like, let's use some examples, like the aforementioned lack of combat events for multiple patches. The fact that the new Zani skin coming in 2.8, well, I personally think it's amazing, and you can't convince me otherwise. It's coming after her banner leaves, which makes no sense. Or the fact that Bullying, the first 4-star in 2025, is at the end of 2025, is on a rerun banner, which I will probably make a video on calling that out because I think it's absurd and I'm really annoyed by that personally. But the amount of people I am seeing constantly negative about this game screams immature, childish, touch grass, jobless, lifeless behavior. Let's take patch 2.7, right? Yes, the events can 100% be criticized and fairly done so. There were minor events. Most of them were also AFK-like, but it also gave us a 6 to 8 hour main story finale full of like insane cutscenes, voice dialogue, set pieces, lore drops. Now, I critiqued parts of the story in my review. I endorse criticism fully when it's deserved, but you know what I was also kind of thankful for in patch 2.7? Call it a bit of a goddamn hot take, but just a bit of a break. WuWa has been going so strong since January when 2.0 launched, and for those of us that log in each and every single day, having a slightly less heavy patch allows players to take it more easy, play other games, and just do other things. You know what I did in patch 2.7 with the minor free time I had? Not stressing over WuWa events like an online spastic, making it my whole personality. I went back to Expedition 33 and I got the full 1000 gamer score on Xbox at 61 hours total playtime. A game I'd left on the back burner because I've been wasting my entire year with gacha games. I started playing Tales of Azalea Remastered that came out, one of my favorite games of all time, my very first platinum when I was younger. I'm at around 15 hours in so far. I've used my free time and I've played a lot more of Genshin, tons of ZZZ, a little bit of HSR. I've watched a few random movies. I have enough stress in my life that online gacha community discourse in general is completely beneath me, which is why I just don't make videos on them or on other people. I've gotten to the point the last few months where it's just become absolutely insufferable. Now, as you can probably tell from my voice, the fact that I'm like heavy breathing into the microphone, I'm struggling here. I've been really sick the last few days, and I don't get sick leave at my current job this year, and I'm out of pocket for taking a day off. I've also just had a lot of health issues recently that are stacking up, especially just this year in general. I have some home issues that keep happening to me based on other people or events. There's a chance we'll have to move house before the end of the year if the owner doesn't renew my lease, costing me thousands of dollars to move 4 people during the holiday time when my work closes down and I go without pay for multiple weeks. Is that too much information to share with you, random stranger on the internet? Sure it is, but am I looking for sympathy? Hell no, I don't want it. But it's because I have a job and I have a kinda semi-life outside of WuWa, although not as much as I should. I have my own personal issues that when I sit down for a WuWa patch, yeah, I get disappointed. When the flying event, you can take your hands off the controller and it auto-completes it for you. Yes, the Vampire Survivors mode can be AFK and you can just walk away. I literally did that to complete it. Yes, there hasn't been many combat events for a while. Yes, it's very disheartening. So what do I do about it? I move the hell on, man. Take the good with the bad. Put it in your damn surveys, let them know, and just move on to something else. The game has evolved so much in such a short span of time. Many look to Wuthering Waves now as like a pinnacle of the dev listen moments, much like Zenless Zone Zero. Although that game has the same issue with its community. You all never stop complaining about anything. It's miserable. Kuro has shown us that, yeah, they try their best. And when they don't try their best, yeah, it's okay to criticize. Let's lay it on a little. I've done it. Look at one of my last videos about Zani. In the thumbnail, great unit, awful design. The title is a very blatant, Zani is badly designed. I got 10k views on that. Because you all love to slurp up anything that might be critical or negatively involved. Like mentioned earlier, I'm probably gonna make a fairly negative video on my thoughts of bullying being on the rerun banner. The difference is it comes from a place of love, and I try my best to also be fairly positive, and I lay out the pros and the cons, and I try to have an upbeat attitude in the videos. Unlike this video, I'm being very negative in this video, I will admit. My other videos on the channel, a fun Q&A and a progress report video that people used to like watching, not even 1,000 views on either of them. What does this tell me? Positive content does not get rewarded, and positive sentiment does not get praised enough. When Kuro does the right things, they do get praised. I don't want to make it sound like they don't, but at the same time, the second they do anything remotely, maybe not quite enough, people jump down their throats and just make the community space miserable to be around and just continue to fuel the toxicity further. Okay, I'll admit I've gotten off on a little bit of a tangent here and I'm ranting, but it's okay. If you don't enjoy the game anymore, that's completely different than calling patches stacked with content mid and filler and empty and not worth your time, when sometimes they respect your time and allow you to do other things. I don't make as many videos as I used to, and I also just don't make many critical videos very often, which is clearly something that should change if I want to grow. The sad reality is casual content, positive content, helpful or practical, it does worse online. And that extends to people's opinions. When I see people constantly sharing negative opinions, yes, it's very easy to block and to mute, ignore, remove people in your space, but only by so much. It will always bleed through the cracks. And for those of us that are online, as much as, say, me, it's very hard to ignore it all. Alright, this video started off because of patch 2.8, so let's try and bring it back around as I finish up, sorry. TLDR. Being critical of things is a good thing. It's needed so products can survive the test of time, and communities can evolve and spread, and money can be made. There is a difference though, between being critical and being a jobless loser that has nothing else better to do than stir up toxicity online. Now I'll admit, I'm a bit of a loser, but I'm a working class loser for the last 15 years, so I at least have that going for me. Also, gacha games aren't meant to be mained as the only game you play. They are time wasters in between other real games. Gacha games are designed to be played sporadically, played partially, or enjoyed in small doses. It's okay for live service games to have smaller or quote-unquote bad patches, and it's okay to critique them when they are doing something objectively bad and voice your opinions, as my throat gives out. However, it's also just incredibly annoying and frustrating and tiring to hear players who are supposedly fans of Kuro or fans of WuWa in particular constantly bash the game, objectify the negatives without delving into the positives. And I don't understand why, if you aren't enjoying something, why are you doing it in the first place? If you don't enjoy WuWa, quit. Play another game. Have you seen the amount of gacha or live service titles that have released in the last month or two? It's ridiculous. Like, not even including all of the real console games or PC games that this year has been released in 2025. Like, it's staggering. Some of you guys can't see the forest through the trees, I swear. Anyway, voice is tired and sore. I gotta go edit. It's like 5:40 AM. Sorry for being like, kind of all over the place with this video, but like, man, I'm sitting back the last few days watching and listening to people bitch online about 2.8, and I'm just listening to people bitch throughout all of 2.7, which is about to finish up. Just feels like you're all miserable people. Like, nobody seems to nothing ever seems to make anyone happy. And it's just, I'm tired, bro. Like, I'm so tired. It's why I make less videos now. Anyway, what's one of my next videos coming out? Me being Mr. Negative about bullying and Urbana. So talk about hypocrisy. Although it's not quite the same thing, but still. Anyway, I'll leave the video there before my voice dies. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening and watching. Hope you guys having a fan-freaking-tastic rest of the day. And as always, my name is Sick Zeno. And you guys take care now. Kill me.